Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. CDC confirms COVID-19 virus is airborne. This story takes the lead in our 1108th edition of Caribbean Perspective for Tuesday, 11th May 2021. Details after this break.
Hubbard's big promotion is back. Live free for 1 year. Spend $50 or more in any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big prizes every month. Property or vehicle insurance for 1 year. Free internet, cable and data for 1 year. Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Free electricity for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Extra cash account and the big free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2021. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Solgas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenlec, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny and Supreme. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. After more than a year of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has confirmed what many have been suspecting and dreading: the COVID-19 virus is airborne. The CDC updated its guidelines on Friday last. TV6's Renessa Cutting expands on this story.
In its newly updated guidelines, the CDC confirms that the COVID-19 virus is airborne, saying, quote, "Modes of SARS-CoV-2 transmission are now categorized as inhalation of virus. The virus can also be transmitted via deposition on exposed mucous membranes and touching mucous membranes with soiled hands contaminated with the virus. However, the CDC says the ways to prevent infection with this virus remains unchanged, even as it also acknowledges that current evidence strongly suggests transmission from contaminated surfaces does not contribute substantially to new infections, a major curveball for the global population, which has been focusing heavily on disinfecting surfaces from COVID-19. The CDC goes on to say that airborne risk of transmission is greatest within 3 to 6 feet of an infectious source. People release respiratory fluids during everyday activities like exhaling, speaking, and even breathing. And while the largest droplets settle out of the air rapidly within seconds to minutes, very fine droplets and aerosol particles formed when these fine droplets rapidly dry are small enough that they can remain suspended in the air for minutes to hours. This latest guidance confirms that you can contract COVID-19 if you are more than 6 feet away from where an infected person was breathing virus particles into the air over a period of time, or even by passing through that space soon after the infectious person has left. Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
Locking down the country makes no sense without securing our borders. So says Opposition Senator Damian Lyda, who says information reaching the UNC is that there are in fact close to 200,000 illegal immigrants in Trinidad and Tobago. Lyda further alleges that these immigrants are merely being given orders of supervision when intercepted and are then released into the public with no testing or quarantine. Renessa Cutting of TV6 News reports.
Senator Damian Lyda says, until government properly secures our borders, Opposition Senator Damian Lyda says, until government properly secures our borders, we will forever be in a cyclic state of lockdown.
We can come after 2 months when the curve is somewhat flattened and open it back up. And if we do not fix our porous borders, we will go back to square one. We will go back to square one and we will have to lock down again and again and again.
Lyda shared information which he says has reached the UNC camp that illegal immigrants are simply being released into the general population after being given orders of supervision, which mandate that they have to check in with immigration once a month.
And we have to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, that the upsurge in this flow of illegal immigrants, it appears as though when the immigrants arrive and they see that they are set free easily into our country, that they're possibly sending messages to their family members, their cousins, their aunts, their mothers, their fathers, saying, listen, brave the waters, brave the open seas, get here. Once you are here, it's fine. You're here to stay.
This, as Leiter notes, there is no official detention center in the Southland.
So whether they are caught in Cedrus, Point Fortin, Siparia, Losiro, wherever they may be caught, they are taken to the nearby police station. And when they arrive there is no COVID testing, there is no quarantine, there is no separate detention facility for these illegal immigrants. They are held and put with local detainees and amongst our local police officers.
He says it's no wonder the Brazilian variant is spreading rapidly in the population.
Should we even vaccinate our entire population and get a herd immunity, that may do little to stop the variants from affecting our citizens in this country.
He's calling on the newly appointed Minister of National Security to take swift action to arrest the situation.
We understand that there have been more than 500 deportation orders that were addressed to the previous Minister of National Security, Minister Stuart Young. And it was on his desk or within his ministry for his action 2 months before he demitted his post. So we call on Minister Hines to do the work required to keep our nation safe, given that his ministry has already advised of these deportation orders. He must action this swiftly.
Vanessa Cutting, TV6 News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Dominica Ports Authority, the DPA, Benoit Badoy, says several stringent measures are being put in place to ensure that the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic does not severely affect the island's cruise ship season that opens in June. He said that the DPA is working to limit the contact cruise ship visitors will have with the local population. Dominica on Friday reported that it had no cases of deaths linked to the virus, and that the 175 cases registered since the first case was detected in March of last year have all recovered. He said that until the all clear is given by the health authorities in Dominica, people will be allowed to come off the vessels, but they will have to be screened, and if the people don't meet with the requirements, they will have to go back on board. The Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARFA, urged residents of the region to protect themselves against the mosquito-borne diseases, even as they battle the COVID-19 pandemic. During the last quarter of 2020, several CARFA member states reported localized outbreaks of dengue, which placed an even greater burden on national health systems already engaged in managing the pandemic. The Trinidad-based CARFA noted that the potential for outbreaks to occur and the introduction of new mosquito-borne diseases in the region are ever-present threats, and it is working in conjunction with member states and the various international development partners on strategies to prevent and control mosquito-borne diseases in the region. CARFA has recommended that greater efforts be placed on mosquito awareness in communities, and vector control activities should be intensified. Guyana has joined a long list of Caribbean countries whose authorities are worried of hesitancy to take the COVID-19 vaccine. More in this News Source Guyana report with Gordon Mosley.
While noting that a countrywide vaccination rollout has been going smoothly, President Irfan Ali has expressed worry about the reluctance from persons in regions 8 and 10 to take the COVID-19 jab.
In every single administrative region, we would have had coverage of between 30 to 36% of population above 18 years old, with the exception of region 8 and 10. So in two regions, we are not having this coverage. Particularly in the case of region 10, only 8.9% of the population above 18 years took the first dose of the vaccine to date. This is very concerning. This is very alarming.
The president made a statement in an address last evening, and he said persons in Region 10 need to understand the seriousness of the virus and also recognize that their region is the gateway to the interior, which borders Brazil, and the likelihood of the borders being breached is a challenge his administration is facing. Region 10 has the lowest vaccination rate in the country.
We're therefore very concerned about the low acceptance level of the first dose in Region 10. I therefore continue to appeal to every Guyanese that though not mandatory at this stage, taking the vaccine is the best option we have to save lives and exit the pandemic.
So far, more than 154,000 persons have taken the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, accounting for 31% of the adult population in Guyana. In terms of age range, 61% of those persons who took the vaccines are above the age of 60, while 29% who took the vaccines are between the ages of 40 and 59, and 21% are between the ages of 18 and 39. The president is once again calling on Guyanese, especially the younger population, to get vaccinated.
I want to take this opportunity to call upon all our young people to go out there and get vaccinated, to ensure that they take this very seriously. Not taking this seriously put at risk your families, put at risk your friends, your community, and your country.
President Ali said his administration will continue sensitizing the public with hopes of the buy-in of the majority of citizens to take the COVID-19 vaccine. Guyana continues to record a spike in COVID-19 cases across the country.
Did you know that your friends and family can now shop at the Food Fair from anywhere in the world, and you can receive here in Grenada? The Food Fair and GrenadaMarket.com now make it possible through secure online shopping and personalized customer service. Simply send your loved ones a list of your preferred items or let them fill an online basket, and the items will be available for pickup or delivery. Visit GrenadaMarket.com or thefoodfair.gd today for more details. The new norm. Spread the news.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.